Hello, everyone. It's Deborah coming to you live from the Art of Living Ashram in Bangalore, India. Welcome to Yes to Success, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life. I'm so happy to be with you. After my computer mishap on the Lakshmanjula Bridge, you heard about what happened. We arrived in Rishikesh, and you can't drive your car into the area of Rishikesh where we were staying. You have to walk across the bridge, and you have one of the men with a cart pile the luggage on the cart and then bring it over to the other side. You have to walk across this bridge. I don't know, it has to be easily maybe a third of a mile long, and then another maybe quarter of a mile to the ashram, the Paramath Nikatan ashram where we were staying. And we arrived in a torrential rainstorm, and we had no choice but to come across the bridge in the rainstorm, a night that will live in infamy. But all of the luggage was piled on a cart. And what I didn't realize was that my suitcase was at the top of the pile and my computer was at the top of my suitcase. So when we finally got to our room at the ashram and I opened up my suitcase, everything was drenched and my computer had gone to computer heaven. So I had to wait a week to get to Bangalore. There's no Apple store up in Rishikesh. So I had to wait till we went to Bangalore and to see if my computer is salvageable. It wasn't, but that's okay. And I got a new computer, but then have had no internet connection until today. So here I am. That having been said, India has been beyond magical with new adventures around every corner. I promised those 14 women who came with me and my business partner, Ronnie, who I teach Ageless with, that if they came on this tour with us, that they would experience authentic India. So although we did do some traditional sightseeing, like in Delhi, we did go to Akshardham and we went to the Taj Mahal. And later when we arrived in Bangalore, we went to Mysore for a day to see the Mysore Palace. Every other day over the last almost 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, has been filled with participating in ceremonies like Aratis, which is a fire ceremony, lighting the lamp on the Ganges, and many ancient rituals called pujas and yagnas to remove karma and to ask for blessings from the various deities, and fire ceremonies called homas. And we've sat at the feet of some of the most renowned gurus alive today. And we meditated with 50,000 of our closest friends during the 9 days honoring the Divine Mother called Navaratri. Every day we celebrated a different aspect of the Divine Mother. And the last day is the day that Durga slays the evil demons, and it's a big victory day celebration of good over evil. Anyway, we've also been experiencing authentic Ayurvedic cleansing, including, I don't know if you know about Ayurveda, but it's the Indian science of health. And there's different things that you can do according to Ayurveda, to create balance in the body. Of course, there's diet, but there's also cleansing that you could do called panchakarma. And it consists of all different kinds of inner and outer cleansing. But one of the things we do is we get an oil massage every day called Abhyanga, and it's herbalized oil. And there are 2 technicians that work on your body in synchrony, and it gets rid of the built up ama is the toxins in your body. And there's another modality called Shirodhara, and that's like warm oil, back and forth. You lay down and it's just back and forth on your forehead, and it calms down the mind. And there's so many. There's Swadna, which is kind of like a steam bath, but it's with herbalized steam. And so it also releases the toxins from your system. And before you start any of that, you first get your pulse read by Nadi. Nadi means pulse, but you get your pulse read by a Nadi reader. And also usually they're trained Ayurvedic physicians. Well, at least they are here at the Shri Shri Ayurvedic Center. And they tell you what is your dominant prakriti. And your prakriti, or the constitution, everybody's born with a certain constitution. You're either Vata. I'm a classic Vata. I talk fast, I move fast, I'm kind of impatient. Vatas, especially later in life, their hair is dry, their skin gets dry. You are prone to things like constipation and also a Vata brain. You tend to forget a lot. So this, and also your mind, frequently Vata's minds are prone to anxiety. Not me, thank goodness, but the Shirodhara calms down your Vata brain. And there are so many other treatments. Oh, Pittas are people who are fiery. Usually if you have red hair, if you have that fair kind of skin, you can't go out in the sun, you're a Pitta. Pittas are quick and sharp, and their minds are very quick, but they could also are prone to anger and short-tempered and fiery, right? Pittas should not eat spicy food, especially during the summer, because in the summer, Pittas are prone to a little bit more anger anyway, or short-temperedness. Then you put some spicy food on top of that. Anyway, so there are different kinds of treatments that can calm down people's pitta. So certain kind of oils that they use in the oil massage. And I think Pindaswedana for pittas. I wouldn't know because I get the Vata treatments. And then the third type is kapha. Kaphas are kind of solid build, and they're the peacemakers and the calm people. But what kaphas need it's more things to get their body moving. Kaphas don't like to exercise. They'd rather just sit on the couch. So they need exercise to counteract the kapha. They're usually, heavier, more solid build. I'm classic Vatas. Vatas have skinny little wrists and skinny fingers, and they're skinny. Anyway, so what was I telling you? See, that's a Vata brain. What was I talking about? I'm demonstrating a Vata brain. But anyway, so the diet that you have settles down or balances your dosha, your prakriti, and also the treatments, the diet. And also you could be a Vata with your pitta out of balance. Right now, I'm classic Vata, but when I had my Nadi read, when I had my pulse diagnosed, he said my Vata and my Pitta were out of balance. But that's kind of common, especially when it's hot out, and it is hot out here. And also when there's a lot of pressure and a lot of, running around and, taking care of 14 people. It's a lot of pressure. Love them though. Anyway, I wasn't even planning on telling you about Ayurveda, but that's just another thing that we've been doing here. Anyway, I thought that I would share with you a little knowledge that Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, who is the founder of the Art of Living, and I think I've talked before about the breath practices that you can learn through the Art of Living, which really balance your doshas and balance your whole life, and the meditation that's taught through the Art of Living. Anyway, he's the founder of the organization. And over the last few days, every night we go to Satsang, which is where everybody comes together. I think Satsang means gathering of the enlightened. Okay, so we all come together because we're very enlightened. So the last few nights, there have only been maybe 10 or 20,000 people here because I think there are like 50 or 100,000 here during Navaratri, the 9 days of the Divine Mother, but the crowd has settled down. And every night we come together for Satsang, where Shri offers knowledge, and also we chant our hearts out. So one of the things that really struck me, somebody asked Shri, they said, I want to know what I can do to live the highest state of consciousness. I don't remember the exact question, but that was the essence of it, and make the greatest contribution in life. What are the things that I need to do to develop that state of consciousness? And of course, he said meditation and coming together for wisdom and doing the breath practices. But he said, but the three important requisites for the highest service and the highest good in life are clarity of mind, purity of heart, and sincerity of action. I thought that was so beautiful. I'll say them again: clarity of mind, purity of heart, and sincerity of action. Anyway, then last night he was talking about the difference between empathy and compassion. And he said, that compassion is good, but don't be pulled into someone's negative state. He said that if a baby starts crying and then the mother starts crying, to have empathy for the baby, it doesn't help the baby and it doesn't help the mother. And he said, in order to be of service, we have to maintain our own center. And although that might seem to sound, callous or selfish, he said the highest service we can do for another is not to preach to them or make them wrong by being in a negative state, or talk them into being happier or less negative. He was talking about sometimes husbands and wives, like the wife might be on the path and meditating and doing breath practices and being very centered, and the husband rejects it and is really caught in negativity. But he said, basically you can't talk somebody out of a negative state or preach to them. I'll ask you, how does that work for you? But he said, what we need to do is just effortlessly be a light. Do your practices, be a light of positivity and optimism. In fact, there's signs all over the ashram, these beautiful signs. And one of them says, the best form of service is to uplift someone's state of mind. The best form of service is to uplift someone's state of mind. And then the final question was, somebody said something like, in these uncertain times where the world is in such upheaval, is there anything we can be certain of? And Sri Gurudev Ravi Shankar said, yes, you can always be certain that God loves you. So with that, I'll say goodbye for now. I send you my love because I love you too. And I wish you a glorious week, and I'll see you next Saturday. Namaste.